The globalists do want societal collapse because they organize it and then they get funding out of it by being the managers. Why do you think they're doing this, Michael Zimmerman?
Well, it's the slow kill and push for the depopulation. They don't care if people with TB and scabies are coming into the U.S. They don't care if people here get sick. You know, Chris Cabrera, the Border Patrol Union vice president down here that we spoke to last week, was telling us that the quarantine areas in these refugee centers, or I forget exactly what they call it down here, the quarantine area is just a little piece of yellow tape. So the people who are sick go over here, the well people go over here. There's no isolation or separation. So people could be going to these places before they get sent on buses across the country, and they're all getting TB and scabies.
Well, there are a lot of people getting now in public schools directly from the migrants, not the illegals. And it's time for lawsuits to draw attention to this. You know, what stopped the secret blood draws going into a UN database was a nurse blew the whistle to myself like in 1997. People heard about it, looked into it, found out it was true. Lawsuits were filed in Texas and Minnesota, and now they have to disclose, okay, it's a DNA database. So this stuff must be exposed. Michael Zimmerman, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And I guess you guys are coming back today.
Yes.
I mean, I guess, you know, specifically, you might want to go file a report just from the edge of where they claim that there's no free speech. And then, of course, they'll just move it further, the goalpost. Right. Truly a nightmarish scenario for the First Amendment. But whatever you do, just follow those reports and get back to Austin safe.
Will do. Thank you, Alex.
That's a great crew. I sent Jakari and them down there a few weeks ago. I didn't even send the crew down there this time. They said there's a lot of news down there. We want to go cover it. And there they are. Wow. We're about to get our next guest, Joel Gilbert, on here in a moment to get into Obama's real past. It's now hitting mainstream news. Before we do that, let's talk to Matt in Michigan. Matt, thanks for calling in. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, what's going on? Hey, I'm from Nebraska originally. A couple of things. I thought you were kind of throwing BS out there to a lot of stuff that happened that you reported on, like the census people and all that.
Sure, I'm having trouble understanding you. Are you on a speakerphone?
I'm on a headset.
I just try to get a little bit closer to the mic because I'm really having trouble.
All right. Is that better?
Yeah, that's night and day, yeah.
Okay. I thought you were a bunch of BS before, but I had trouble with census people and all that. They did exactly what you guys reported. And since your guest left, I'm kind of glad that he got his guns back and all that, because down there in Mexico with the Fast and Furious, they could have set him up on the gun crime and all that, and then had more gun control politics going to play.
Well, listen, I wish that I was exaggerating. I mean, I can't believe how crazy stuff is. I can't believe they brought 5 million jihadis into Europe, and it's got to be 1 million or something here. They're covering it up. I mean, I don't want to believe this. I appreciate your call, Matt. It's bizarro. Let's go ahead and talk to Jim in North Carolina. You're on the air worldwide. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, this has been an exciting news week, ain't it? A lot going on.
Never boring. Obama is organizing top megabanks to finance and bring in unlimited Muslim immigrants, giving them work visas. I mean, you can't make that up.
I originally didn't call in to talk about the banks in Mexico, but since you asked it and nobody answered it, I think I'll go ahead and tell you. Obama gets to print money off these illegals coming in. And as far
No, that's true. They get to throw them into the Social Security system and leverage them with the IMF and World Bank. Each one of us is a commodity. So yes, they're using these poor people as well. They're playing us off against each other.
As long as he gets more. The proof we have of that is Tony Blair coming out and admitting the whole weapons of mass destruction was his mess-up fiasco. And as soon as he did that, the pound hit a historic low. But yet their markets pretty much stayed the same. So there's the proof in that. But what I really called in about was this emergency hearing they had with James Comey. And he basically come out and said that federal officials are not held to the same standards, meaning the letter of the law. In order for them people to be convicted, there has to be irrefutable proof. And
no, that's right. He's setting a new precedent for a new imperial royalty that is the federal government. And but the little people, you've got to follow these laws, but nobody else does. Great point, Jim. I'll get to more of your calls. Barbara, Terry, Chris, HB, and others coming up. The toll-free number to join us on this Thursday edition is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. I'm your host, Alex Jones, and we're going to be covering the RNC. I'll be there. We're going to have reporters as well at the DNC. We're going to have reporters on the border. I'm going to go back down the border here after I get back from the RNC. But it's more important than ever to understand that Infowars.com is breaking through the electronic Berlin Wall of globalist disinformation. We're forcing stories into the open consciousness of the public. Thanks to DrudgeReport.com, but also thanks to our over 170 AM and FM affiliates, TV affiliates, cable affiliates, you, the listeners, number one, spreading the articles, the videos to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You're the reason we're having a giant effect. And I want to thank you all for what you've been doing and ask you to intensify it because we're all in this together. This is a historic battle. The globalists are out in the open. People are ready to wake up. This is the best of times, worst of times. I also want to thank you for your financial support. When you buy a Hillary for President shirt, that helps fund this operation, our reporters, writers, team, nightly news, you name it. But right now, all the proceeds are going to pay for aircraft at the DNC and RNC with giant banners saying Hillary for President. We're just going to keep hammering the point that she's a criminal. Also, we have the Independence Day mega sale ending next Monday. Some things are going to have to end before then, like Survival Shield, Nason9 X2, and some of the other nutraceuticals, because some of those are going to sell out beforehand. But the super high-quality storable food, 20 to 40% off, one of the biggest sales ever, will extend through Monday. Infowarsstore.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. But X2 is selling out, so take advantage of that. But whatever you do, visit Infowarsstore.com because we've got independent specials from July 4th right through next Monday that deal with non-GMO heirloom seeds, open-pollinated, super high-quality water filtration systems. They're massively discounted. So many great things. Shortwave, crank power, radios, you name it. Solar-powered radios, solar-powered systems, they're all discounted so much I can't get into it all. And your purchase is getting high-quality products at very low prices. Make everything we do here possible. Infowarsstore.com. Okay. I got up this morning, and I went, as I do every morning, to Infowars.com for about 10 minutes. Then I went over to DrudgeReport.com for about 30 minutes. Then I went back to Infowars.com for about 20 minutes. I kind of go back and forth. And then I got into my email, I was reading some stuff, and I went back to Drudge, and I saw, boom, this big image of Obama in his Islamic garb. Now, when we first saw that in 2003, the media said it was fake. They had truth squads that said, we'll arrest you in places like Missouri if you say that he isn't a Christian. They actually, I mean, I can play those newscasts. I'm not kidding. Maybe we should pull those up. Well, it turns out he went to madrasa schools. He was a Muslim. He speaks better Arabic than top imams. Joel Gilbert has made the definitive film, Dreams of My Real Father, on this subject. And he's really investigated Obama like nobody else. So there are major Islamic connections to kind of his fake family in Kenya and the rest of it. But I wanted to ask him what he really thinks Obama's end game is. But then separately, we're going to break in a moment. I kind of want him to just give us a preview. Does he think it's really good news, though, that finally Bill O'Reilly's talking about this and giving us old news and making it new? I mean, is that a positive thing? What does he think that bodes? So is he really just a globalist socialist allied with Islam, or is he double dipping? Is he really a Islamicist? Joel Gilbert, documentary filmmaker, researcher, from your deep research on Obama and all these new photos emerging, who is he really?
Hi, Alex. Look, Barack Obama, at his core, is a radical communist. You have to understand the connection between Islamists and Marxists. They both view Western free market systems, free speech, and open government as an obstacle to taking power. Therefore, Islamists and Marxists are natural allies, and they see Western society as the #1 target on the path to salvation. Salvation for Marxists is utopia, paradise on earth, like in my new film. Salvation for Islamists is in the next world. But together they view Western society as their #1 target. And you can see Obama again and again, always very comfortable around Islam. Any anti-American ideology, anti-American extremist, Reverend Wright, Bill Ayers, you can see him wearing the Islamic garb. He is extremely comfortable and happy in any anti-American setting or with any anti-American like Raul Castro, Chavez, anyone who hates America, he's very comfortable because this is his background. His real father, Frank Marshall Davis, was a Soviet agent and a Communist Party USA propagandist. And this is the man who raised him and became his ideological father, as I've chronicled in my film, Dreams from My Real Father. This is who Obama is. He's part of this little-known world of anti-American radical Marxists, and the Islamists are their natural allies. Obama is uncomfortable when you see him placing the American flag on the tomb of the unknown soldier at any ceremony that has to do with memorializing the founding fathers. He's always uncomfortable. So this is the big lie that Obama hoisted on us and the Democrats in 2008.
All right, I want to ask you where you think he's going in his last months in office through next January, where you think the election is going with Hillary, and a lot more. Joel Gilbert.
We're on the Hillary Clinton will say anything to get elected. Now she's making false attacks on Barack Obama. The Washington Post says Clinton isn't telling the truth. She championed NAFTA, even though it has cost South Carolina thousands of jobs. And worst of all, it was Hillary Clinton who voted for George Bush's war in Iraq.
That's an Obama ad.
Hillary Clinton. She'll say anything and change nothing. It's time to turn the page. Paid for by Obama for America.
I'm Barack Obama, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
I have run my last campaign.
This is him now this week.
I couldn't be prouder of the things we've done together, but I'm ready to pass the baton. And I know that Hillary Clinton is going to take it.
And, of course, Trump has been exposing this hypocrisy.
That race. The race to create good jobs and better schools and safer streets and a safer world. And that's why I'm fired up. And that's why I'm ready to go. And that's why I'm with her. And that's why I need you to work just as hard to make sure that Hillary Rodham Clinton is the next president of the United States of America. God bless you, North Carolina.
They want to keep her in there to cover for all his crimes he's committed and continue the agenda. And now we've got Donald Trump as the nominee, whether you love him or hate him. I think the guy has got a lot of courage and is a great patriot. I know he's a listener of the show. I know he's getting more hardcore all the time. They're trying this anti-Semitism BS when our government under Hillary and Obama has been funding Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Talk about anti-Semitic. And then now they can show Disney, ads and stuff with the same little star, meaning a discount. And they're saying, oh, it's anti-Semitic because he bashed Hillary with it. And I like Trump coming out, we're going to play this later, saying we shouldn't have retracted that. My crew shouldn't have done that. I just love how they use calls of racism all day when these are the people pushing racial division and all of this control. So Joel Gilbert, documentary filmmaker, very intelligent political activist, a guy that dug up incredible dirt on Obama. I want to talk with you about this election, where you see it going, how it ties in with Hillary, because you're a guy that has some gravitas. I really actually want to know your opinion about, I know the audience does too, just wargaming this myself every day. What does your gut tell you? Where do you think Hillary will take us? What is Obama going to do in his last months? The arrogance where the Supreme Court says, yeah, it's illegal for you to violate the law and let illegals in. He just says, I'm going to increase it even bigger. And then the FBI coming out, not going after Hillary, admitting all the horrible things she's done, but then saying we can't go after her. What do you really think's happening? How do we decipher and decode all this, Joel Gilbert?
Okay, Alex. Well, first of all, I don't think people, except for maybe you and your listeners, understand the seriousness of the times we're living in. We're literally, I believe, in the last days of the Republic.
Yes. Before
liberal fascism takes a permanent hold if Hillary wins. We're one justice away on the Supreme Court. You'll probably have 3 or 4 that will negate several of our freedoms and amendments. The FEC, you remember that the FEC tried to go after me, investigate me, find me possibly a jail sentence for making a movie about Obama's past, and it was tied 3-3. It should have been 6-0, but it was 3-3. So they just need one more liberal
official Democratic Party platform in Philadelphia will be to arrest climate change deniers.
Correct. So the liberal fascism that might be in our future is extremely serious. We have Barack Obama. He's going to act as an agitator. He is a professional agitator. He trained as an agitator in Chicago with the Midwest Academy, with the radical Marxists. He was a trainer for Acorn.